All right, we are joined by Kofie. Give it up. Everybody clap. Clap it up. Even if you're driving. Give it up for Kofie.
Stop clapping if you're driving.
Ayo.
Please don't clap if you're driving. Stop telling them
Brother,
to clap when you're driving, bro.
I hope they're in a Waymo.
Or an Uber.
man.
Yes.
Yes.
Even if you're driving. Listen, Kofie, thank you for joining us. You are the most vocal Piston fan I know. I've known you for a couple years now through the internet. We've met a couple times in person. Definitely a pleasure to have you on, man.
Dude, thanks for having me. Yeah, always.
Yeah, so I got to ask you, thoughts after Game 3. You and I are on different sides of this, but I would like to hear your perspective from a Knicks fan. How are you feeling?
Tell them they suck. Tell them the truth.
Look, I liked Brunson ball better. This whole balanced Knicks offense, man, I hate it. Get that out of here, bro. I want Brunson taking 35 shots again. What happened to that?
I'll tell you what happened. New York, we got pissed. That's what happened to it. There was like a revolution in Manhattan after Game 2. Knicks fans, I haven't seen Knicks fans like that in a long time, and I've never seen someone's like approval rating drop as dramatically as Jalen Brunson has since this series started. Everybody seemed to like Jalen Brunson or not have a problem with Jalen Brunson. But after Game 2, the whole internet, including New York, was like, who is this? This is terrible basketball.
When this series is over, I'll get back to being I'm neutral towards Jalen Brunson. It's a great story, great NBA story, but right now the fact that it's like you're not gonna win a PR battle with Asar Thompson right now. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Fair.
Like it's whatever. You're just not gonna win that. You know what I'm saying? Also, you're not even battling us, right? I've tried to tell Knicks fans that like the banter. I'm like, this series, it's not about y'all right now.
It's not.
It's not about y'all. Like I'm trying to tell y'all where it's like, yes, y'all are gonna move on, and then the next series will be about like exercising demons or whatnot. This series is about our story right now. It's about Detroit basketball. It's about having the playoff T-shirts. It's about the whole turnaround or whatnot, you know. And I think a lot of the Brunson hate comes from like the Pistons fans are like, we're new to seeing that in a game that's important. So I feel like it also comes from past fan bases that had to endure a 6-7 game series against Jalen Brunson. So I feel like that also is where it compiles from. So
Yeah, and also the Pistons are such a great story. You remember the Sports Nation polls where they show the map of the United States of America, and it's like who America's rooting for. I feel like 49 states are like blue for the Pistons, and then you have New York that's just orange. But it just feels like the whole country wants us to lose. And as a Knicks fan, we usually get laughed at, or we have like the sympathy a section cheering for us. This is not a position we're used to. I don't like it at all, man. I hate it.
It's not that. Yeah. I totally agree.
Has it been, like you said, I think the Pistons have like the best story since like last year, because last year you guys didn't play that well. Has the change just been because of hiring Trajan Langdon and, I don't know, putting shooters around your best players?
There are so many different factors where in terms of what helped the turnaround. One was basically clearing house. Honestly, getting rid of Monty, getting rid of Troy, because I feel like when you hit rock bottom like that, there was no looking in the mirror and being like, we can salvage this. I feel like just the franchise, we were just lost as a fan base. We're just like, wow, this is year 4 of a rebuild, and we're still somehow even worse, right? So I think that the addition of Trajan Langdon coming in here, looking around and being like, hey man, this might take a while. He told us to be patient.
Yeah.
Because not only were we just like depleted talent wise, we didn't have the best assets, right? We were not the Thunder with 86 draft picks or whatnot, you know? So that paired with Bickerstaff and then paired with, I want to say vets that want to be here. Like getting Tobias Harris back was such a big deal because I remember when he was here his first stint in Detroit, and it was fine, right? It wasn't like how Sixers fans view Tobias Harris. Pistons fans, I was like, oh, we paid Tobias Harris, we didn't pay him the max, and he wants to be here. This is great. And then getting Malik Beasley and just the veterans on this team feel like they want to be here versus I feel like last year it was more like, when am I going to get traded to a playoff contender, right?
Yeah.
Where it was just like I'm not gonna, because we had so many players cycle in and out last year, so many different starting lineups, right? We had a 50 ball from Malachi Flynn that just came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It was
That did happen. Yeah.
no, dude. The Pistons like. The NBA was having a great time last year, and then you get to the Pistons subplot, and it's just like it's like when Courage the Cowardly Dog just sees all the antagonists, and everybody else is like, what are you talking about, man? Like,
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah. And that was after the Knicks traded. They in that Quentin Grimes trade, and you got the worst of Quentin Grimes, by the way. Like he didn't hit the three the whole time. With
Played
the
6
Pistons.
games.
Yeah, he played six games. I
six
think he
games.
missed every three he took, and now he's balling out in Philadelphia. It's just such a
Like
weird
the
journey.
thing is that even with Quentin Grimes like balling out in Philadelphia, all of that goes to Dallas. No one's like, why? How did Detroit not? Because everyone like, he played 6 games. Like
Right.
did you want to play for us at that point? I totally understand that. Like like last year. I feel like we're off the hook with that one. So
Yeah, you are for sure. You definitely are. Now, did you what did you go in expecting this season though? So Langdon said be patient, right? So I guess in your head you're thinking, hey, if we can get 25, 30 wins, I'm happy with that. Was that the expectation?
I asked for 30 wins.
Okay.
Damn.
I asked for 30 wins and max play-in.
Okay.
Max play, like if we like 10 seed parade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was after what happened last year, right? Where it was just like, okay, we draft Ron Holland, we get Tobias, we get Hardaway Jr., we get Malik Beasley. If our offense looks functional, also a win. Like the bar is very low here. That the bar was so low.
It was.
The bar was because the bar we were in such bad discussions last year. There were discussions last year on if Cade could be a number one.
Yeah.
There were discussions on if Cade was a point guard. Those were all things that we were talking about because the on-court product was so bad that we really couldn't draw conclusions from it. Like we couldn't really decipher basketball that was being played because we were like, okay, half this roster is not going to be here next year. The turnover that happened, I think we signed Kevin Knox and then waived him, and then maybe like it's just people were just in and out last year. Where I'm like, there's no coherent.
Right. Hey, you
no
available today?
coherent
All right,
thing.
come on. We'll bring you on.
When we traded for Evan Fournier, I never expected him to be on the court. I thought that was
forgot
like
you
salary dump, cool,
Right.
And then he started playing, and I was like, no, whoa, wait. It's like,
I mean, I remember, because I'm a Nets fan. I remember you guys playing against us, and at a certain point, your best floor spacer was Isaiah Stewart, and I'm like, this can't work. Like, I don't think this is a good idea. Like, you're not allowing your guards to like thrive. Like, Cade is playing in a phone booth. Jaden Ivey's like playing it like it was kind of ridiculous. So the roster turnover has like worked really well. Going into this playoff series, did you feel like you guys could beat the Knicks, or was it just like, we're here, so I'm comfortable with it?
we played the Knicks well in the regular season, but that's never like I'm never gonna copy and paste translate that, right? Because we're a team with not that much playoff experiences. But the thing is that I came into this playoff series, I wanted like bare minimum. I was like, one good Cade game at the Garden would I'd be fine with that, because he's going against OG and Bridges, and like he's gonna be throwing a lot of stuff at him. Whereas it's like I wanted Cade to on the biggest stage in the NBA to just be like, hey, I'm a number one guy. Like the All-Star nod was great, but with how the All-Star game format functioned, he only got like 4 minutes of court time or something like that. So I was like, that's not. But here it's a little bit just better, and I feel like going into this series, it was like looking coherent and making, like, if the games are close, if we're fighting in every game and it doesn't go our way, like, it's totally fine because it's the house money series for us, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we are, despite botching a rebuild for 3 or 4 years. I feel like we're somehow ahead of schedule still, honestly. So, and it's like the best is yet to come, honestly, from like Asar and Ron Holland. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much optimism here that there wasn't there last year at all.
Yeah, and then Jaden Ivey's still out, which is a huge piece of the puzzle as well. Now you're down 2-1, game 4. The Pistons are still in this series. I mean, there's a huge possibility they can win this series. They have looked like the better team for more than half the series, even though they're down 2-1. I think most people would agree to that. What are your thoughts now moving forward, even though you're down 2-1?
I think that game 3 was the first game where we did not look like the better team. Like we were playing catch up, and Cat was absolutely cooking. I don't like the Cat. He gets a narrative for being soft. I've never agreed with that.
Yeah,
I
don't
never
either.
agree with that. That man will cook your team. Like it. So I think for us, it's just keep fighting, and Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Tobias Harris. I just need the three of them to all play a normal game at the same time.
He said,
Can we get it
it's a
together?
normal, regular game, please.
Because sometimes you'll be like, oh, Tim Hardaway Jr. is doing great, and then you see Tobias Harris with 0 points and 5 fouls. I'm like, oh man, we're so close, right? And then game one, bad Cade game, and then
Right.
Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr. are cooking, and I'm just okay. I'm like, okay, great. I think the thing that we're learning this series is just how important Isaiah Stewart is. I know a lot of people, you Google Isaiah Stewart highlights on YouTube, and the first 4 results are fights. Yeah, we get that.
Yeah.
But he's also our best defender against Towns, like bar none. Like Tobias Harris, like Jalen Duren on stretch bigs never really goes according to plan, and I think having Isaiah Stewart be able to be that and showing like how good of a season that he's had, it's very important. And again, there's no excuses. It is next man up, but this series has shown how valuable Isaiah Stewart is in his absence.
Yeah, I mean, he's honestly another thing too. One thing I didn't know about your squad, I did watch a few Pistons games this year. Y'all are chippy as hell, man. Like, what is with that? Like,
You
I
just,
feel like you're picking on us. That's what it feels
That,
like.
look,
you want them,
We
you
feel like
want
we're
them to
being
take it
bullied.
easy. They're trying to win a game, man.
No,
What
but
are you talking
we're
about,
being
brother?
bullied out there.
nah, it's that thing where it's that Detroit basketball where it's like every good Detroit basketball team aspires to be like 2004. They aspire to be like
Yeah.
the Bad Boys because in like I guess the NBA history, everyone's always like people have seen the Bad Boys as like cool, as awesome. So I feel like
Yeah.
when this team is good, it's like they strive to be that. Getting Ron Holland and then seeing Ron Holland like not take anything, and then Isaiah Stewart not take anything. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Also, the fact that I see it this year is like this team cares, because last year we
Yeah.
never really got that. We never really got that edge from Monty. Also, JB Bickerstaff, he's like up there in technical fouls, which
He leads the
sounds
league.
like a
He leads the
sounds
league, I think.
sounds like a bad thing, but
Yeah.
for us it was like, oh, he's paying attention to the game. Like that's
Okay.
like the cool. That's like we can see that in a positive. Like, bro, he's paying attention. Like that's fine. I like this.
Yeah, he cares. And it felt like Monty was going through the motions like throughout the years he was there. That's what I see a lot of Pistons fans. It just felt like he didn't really want the job, but the offer was too great for him to turn it down. One thing me and Josh were talking about when we did a recap yesterday of the game was how do you feel about the reffing that's been going on throughout the course of the series?
Look, bro. So game two. It was really interesting, man. It was for game 2. It was a lot of complaints, but then like the total foul disparity was like 2.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So the thing is, I think where it's like the Pistons were attacking the basket more, like it might be one of those things. You know how like the Warriors don't have that many free throws because they
Yeah.
just they don't be okay. So it felt like that, but it also at the same time, it's like you're not going to be able to get that point across on Twitter mid game, right? So it was just one of those things. I think that it's been really weird because it feels like the refs will let them play until like a certain point, and it gets really confusing. I feel like it gets really confusing for all the players because last game Jalen Brunson wasn't like doing the game 2 Jalen Brunson stuff. As far as I didn't feel like that, and I was like, okay, cool. And then, we had a couple of scuff ups, and it's like, okay, playoff basketball, double technical, just keep it pushing, right? So I feel like for me, and then but there are certain things where it was like the you saw the Jalen Brunson like backcourt thing
Yeah, that was
at the end.
I still don't know.
That was, but that was I was at the point of the game where I was just like, we lost this game in so many other aspects.
Yeah.
To where like that's how I kind of see a game where I'm like, it's not always just one call. It's like I see like we probably lost the game because I'm not counting on referees to actually do their job.
Yeah.
It's like doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter the outcome where it's like I don't need the last 2-minute report, bro. We didn't play as well as we did in game 1 and 2, right? Where it's like one of those things where I'm like leaving stuff up to chance thing is like one of those things where I'm like, okay, well if we didn't play as bad as we did in game 3, I'd probably be more like, oh yeah, we got like scammed out of the what no, but I don't really see it like that. I do think that Cade Cunningham has the worst whistle of like a star, and but like that's in game 2 was like if Cade Cunningham could get this whistle all the time, he would be in other conversations. But then in game 3, he had like 3 free throws, and I'm like, okay, that's what we're used to, it's like
back to reality.
No, seriously, I was like, okay, cool, because Cade Cunningham averages like 5 free throws a game, 4 or 5, so it's not like he's not like in Shea range or Trey range or, so it's
Brunson
not that.
range.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't do the thing that Trey does. He doesn't do what Jalen does either. Like he doesn't like stop in the pick and roll and like stop short and draw the foul. He just takes the mid-range jumper or he takes it to the hoop. Like that's the way Cade plays. I think that's why a lot of people are starting to love him. I mean, he's become one of everybody's favorite players. I haven't seen a bad thing about Cade this year, especially now during the playoffs. Everybody's rooting for him and everybody loves him. Like you said before, like this series is about y'all. This is not about the Knicks. But I want to get your opinion before we let you go. Prediction maybe for Game 4 of the series going forward. Do you think that the Pistons still have a shot? What do you think is going to happen on Sunday?
I would not be surprised if this goes 7.
Okay.
I don't know how we get there, but I'm not. I feel like it's one of those things where I've seen the back and forth where you'll get like bad Cade game, good Cade game, bad. It's just like an adjustment matchup, honestly, where it's like the adjustments aren't made in game, but it's through the film session.
Yeah.
Where it's like this feels like a very counter punch series, but I would not be surprised, where it's like Pistons. Like if it goes to 7, that's the best outcome. But like, and even if the Knicks win in 5 or 6, like I'm not going to be that torn up about it this year because this year, I watched Cade play next to Killian Hayes last year. I watched the Isaiah Livers stretch where that was weird. We signed one of my happiest moments last year is when we signed Mike Muscala because I was like, oh hey, a stretch big,
right.
and then we I think bought him out or waived him or something. I was like, wait, that's our only. Okay, cool, bye. So there a lot. So you see what I'm saying? It's like not not relativity, but it's just like my putting it all into perspective.
Yes.
The fact that that was the first time I had witnessed Detroit Pistons playoff win since the Bush era. That's how we've measured it. We've measured it by presidential terms. Because the other times we made the playoffs after that was like we got swept multiple times, So yeah, I feel like it's just okay. It's hard to watch our team lose in the play. It's hard to watch a playoff loss, right? But like, it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, but this is like hopefully the first of many. I hope there's no. I feel like this is like the worst you're gonna see of the playoff Pistons for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cade's going to be around for a while. You're going to have a lot of special moments with him. But Kofie, thank you for coming on, man. Definitely appreciate you. Listen, if you want to follow Kofie, he has a dope YouTube channel. I think the URL is youtube.com/KofieWhy, WHY. He does a lot of different things with gaming. I watched one clip where you were talking about the negativity of NBA media, and then the next clip was like Airbud. so that's basically
wide range.
Very valid. Very valid. There's no my channel uploads could be anything. That's what
it's fantastic.
Be,
and also I need to personally salute you for the backyard baseball work that you're doing. One of my favorite games of all time. 100%.
Thank you so much.
Love the content there. So Kofie, thanks for coming on, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.